Someone recently sent me this video.
This is insane. Starting on March 11, Biden has officially made side hustles illegal, which has now impacted over 80 million Americans.
So you know, I had to do some research and get to the bottom of this, and I actually did come across many articles talking about this new labor rule that makes side hustles illegal.
Change is coming for millions of gig workers.
Side hustles are now illegal.
They're trying to push it down into a minimum wage job. You should get paid by 10.
Side hustle could soon be classified as a second job thanks to new labor rules unveiled by the Biden administration this week.
So I'm about to explain actually what this new rule really is that went into effect on March 11th, and I'm going to go over some of the side hustles that falls under this. There will be some work from home jobs that falls under this too, so make sure you watch this entire video. What's up, guys? I'm Monique if you're new here, and if you're not, welcome back. Being that this is a channel that we talk often about different side hustles that you can start, you know I had to figure out what's going on here. This rule is expected to impact over 80 million Americans, just not quite in the way that many people are putting the word out here saying that these side hustles are being banned. So basically, the United States Department of Labor issued a final rule in January that took effect on March 11th, and this new rule forces companies to treat more independent contractors or those that are gig workers as actual employees. So what the Department of Labor actually believes is that many companies are labeling people as independent contractors to pretty much cut costs. And according to the United States Labor Secretary, the misclassification particularly harms low-income workers who will benefit the most from legal protections afforded to employees such as minimum wage and unemployment insurance, along with other benefits. So this new rule provides a 6-factor test to determine if a person should be considered as an independent contractor or an employee. Now, will this affect side hustles? Yes, in a way, but a lot of people are focusing just on that. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of work from home jobs that's also going to be affected by this. I have actually talked on the channel about several different work from home positions that are considered independent contractors. They basically give out 1099, and this new rule will possibly impact some of those work from home positions because according to that 6-factor test, these companies are providing a set schedule. Some of them are providing you with equipment, and for the most part, people are depending solely on that job for their income. So if you check off with these factors, that's pretty much changing the game because you can no longer be considered an independent contractor according to this rule. You will have to be an employee, and you know that's going to be a whole nother can of worms because a lot of these companies are not happy with that, and I'm going to get into more details about that in a second. But let me give you some more examples of the type of jobs or side hustles that will be impacted by this. So under the new economic dependence test, there are some drivers that may be now considered as employees, and this could affect you if you are driving for Uber, for Lyft, if you are doing DoorDash. And what that would mean is that you will end up having to be paid minimum wage, and over time they will have to provide you with health care benefit as well as paid time off. While some people may actually enjoy that, a lot of people have a problem with this because it's going to be taking away their freedom. They can't set their own schedule. They can't decide when they want to drive, where they want to drive, and then that's putting a cap on pretty much how much you can make. And besides those ride sharing giants, this could potentially affect a wide range of independent contractor roles across many industries. And I'm talking about things like carpenters, plumbers, and electricians, those who solely work for one company but they are independently contracted because of that new factor saying that you depend solely on income from one source that could possibly make you an employee. This could also affect those that are independently contracted to do deliveries aside from postal workers and owner-operators who are out here leasing your trucks to one particular company for long hauls could now be considered employees. Other people that this affects is home health care aides, freelance writers, and editors. And again, that's if most of your work is just from one company, if you depend on your income from that company. And that also can include the independent contractors that sell products for one company. I know a lot of people out there are selling jewelry and beauty products for one company. You may no longer be considered an independent contractor. It could possibly end up being an employee. employee. And these are just a few examples. I wanted to give you a little bit of an idea about what this may affect. But does this mean that side hustles are doomed? Absolutely not. Most side hustles do involve independent work. For those that's doing freelance work, graphic designers, those that have Etsy online shops, you are responsible for setting your own rates. You work with different clients, so you are not just dependent on one source. And of course, you provide your own tools, so you should be safe. But it's important to know that this rule is very new and it is very likely to change. And there are tons of companies like Uber that's currently challenging this new rule in court. There haven't been any updates as of yet as to whether anything will change after those challenges. So we are going to have to pretty much watch this and see how it plays out. So again, the government believes that this is a good change going from an independent contractor to an employee because of the fact that you can receive more benefits from it.
This is one of President Biden's most important priorities, which is to make sure that one job is enough to sustain a family.
However, on the other hand, there are many negatives that can also arise from this very rule, because companies changing independent contractors to employees will increase operating costs. In fact, it is said that the cost of companies having employees over independent contractors is about 30% more. So what do you think will possibly happen with the increase of costs that these companies receive? It could lead to job loss. Why? Because they could start offering fewer work opportunities for people that are independent contractors. They could end up shifting a lot of their tasks in-house to their employees that they already have, which could be work overload for them, while also cutting opportunities for others. But they could possibly also start hiring more employees, which will open up job opportunities for some that are looking for those 9-to-5 positions. But they can also end up increasing the prices of their services to offset the cost of employee benefits. Some workers may end up losing the flexibility that they enjoy as independent contractors. So there's a lot that could happen. We don't know for sure how this is going to unfold. But for those of you that are wondering what should you do if you are affected by this, first and foremost, you want to make sure that you visit the Department of Labor's website so that you can find more resources that will help you understand this new rule better, because I am not any kind of legal counsel or tax professional. I'm just sharing this information that I came across and did research on. But you want to try to get more info to see how this applies to your situation, and I'll leave a link to that down in the description. Some other things you may want to consider if you are considered an independent contractor right now is, of course, to make sure you document your work. You want to keep a detailed record of the hours that you're working, of your expenses, and of course of your income. This could end up being very helpful in case your classification is ever questioned. Another thing you could possibly do is increase your client base, especially if you are an independent contractor that is just dependent on one company, because we know that's one of the factors in that 6-factor test. And of course, you want to try to have an open conversation with your companies that you work with your clients. You want to talk to them about how this new rule could affect your relationship with them. Now, this is a very complex topic. I try to break it down as best as I can for you to understand it a little bit better. But if you have any doubts at all, it is good for you to always consult a lawyer or a tax professional. But I hope that this helps you out. Please like this video because that helps me out. And other than that, I thank you so much for watching, and until next time, we are out. Peace.